What's up, ugly ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. That is right, good ugly ass friends. I am finally back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share with your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we're going to be covering the Power Universe. That's right, I know BMF is airing, but that shit is not popping, so I gotta go. It's better, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't bad, but it ain't Power, so we're gonna keep it Power over here for now. And we're gonna be doing something a little different in this video. So what I have here is basically a photo I grabbed from Instagram that I thought would be a nice little topic for us to have. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna share it. As you can see by the title, is talking about choosing your family. So basically what we have here is we're gonna have the family that I'm gonna get ready to show you guys, and we're gonna make a father, mother, brother, and sister. If you was in the Power Universe, who would you choose from the choices that they gave us? So I thought this would be very interesting. I'll give you guys my take on this, and then later on, you guys can definitely let me know what you think. What would you change, and what would you be your family in the comment section? And we also cover this in a live when I go live, probably Sunday. I think my next live will be Sunday. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So this here is our choices, people. This is the choices we have to create the perfect Power family. So if you were in the Power Universe and these were your choices, who would you choose to be your father, mother, brother, and sister? So I'm going to go ahead and start this thing off. You got Ghost, Marvin, Lorenzo, and Kanan. Now in this particular bracket, there's only one wrong answer, and we know everyone should know without even thinking about it what the wrong answer is. I don't give a damn what y'all guys say. There's no explanation that you can come up with that's saying you should take Kanan as your father. Stop being ignorant as hell, because that's all you're doing. If you just being biased at this point, because he was a terrible father, and if you was his son, you wouldn't want to be that glad nigga for daddy. Let's be real. Now, let's go ahead and go to the remaining three. Now, I think Marvin, although, you know, Marvin had a rough batch at the beginning, you know. Him and Juke wasn't so hot that first season. He barely even paid attention to her. And then, of course, once he found out about her sexual preferences, he even laid hands on her, right? So that's a little bit of a knock for Marvin, but he absolutely made up for it in seasons 2, 3, and 4. And for the most part, was a pretty good goddamn dad. He was there for her. He protected her, of course. And, you know, he's just an all-around good dude. You know, he's a good dad. Lorenzo, I gotta say the same for it, because Lorenzo, initially, as we found out in season 4 of book 2 Ghost, it wasn't Lorenzo who wanted the kids in the game. That was Monet. So he initially tried to keep them away from it. You know, they grew up pretty nice lifestyle. They didn't really struggle. The only one that kind of got a little bit of a taste of struggle, at least for as I could see outside looking in, was Kane, because he was the firstborn. But yeah, for the most part, you know, they lived a pretty good lifestyle. But Lorenzo was also missing because he ended up going to jail. So that is a knock on Lorenzo. The same can be said for Marvin, because of course he was in jail as well for a part of Jukebox Life. So in my opinion, by default, and because of a multitude of different other reasons, my choice is going to be Ghost. I mean, you have intelligence, you have a gangster, you're wealthy, you don't really have to be in the game if you want to, you know, if you don't want to. The only thing would suck for if Ghost is your dad, if you want to be in the game, because he's gonna try to stop you. So other than that, if you want to just live a regular life as a civilian, Ghost is your obviously only choice. Now let's go ahead and get to these mothers. We have Rock, Lakeisha, Tasha, and Monet. Now in this particular bracket, if you ask me, there's two wrong answers to this. And they're both at the end. There's no way you should be choosing Rock, and there's no way you should be choosing Monet. Now, we don't want to hear nothing about who y'all like the best because they look good. We ain't talking about that. We talking about who is the best mother, and it's obviously ain't them two. They both killed their baby daddy. That is crazy. Ugly as hell. So, just off that alone, they are eliminated. And then keep in mind that both manipulative, they lie all the freaking time. Like they ugly as hell, but no, there's no way you should be choosing Rock. The only thing you can gain is you get some intelligence and stuff like that. You know, you get a smart mom or whatever, but man, that shit ain't worth it. Especially Rock. Rock was on her shit. But there ain't no way I'm choosing her after all that last shit she did. But anyway, that leaving us with Lakeisha and Tasha. Now, I think, in my opinion, the wife should also be chosen because of judging by who's the father. So, the fact that Ghost is the father, that's another knock on Monet and Rock, in my opinion, because I don't think Ghost would get along well with Rock nor Monet because they both got a mouth and they both, want to be over shit, they self. And Ghost ain't having that. Now, Marvin, he's not so smart, so, he could possibly deal with that. He just, just don't test his gangster. And Lorenzo, he's already dealt with Monet. Look what happened to him. Kanan damn sure ain't playing with none of these hoes. So, that if, they better think twice before they pull any of that bullshit on him. But anyways, he's the only obvious no. So there's no way, he's even in the equation. Anyways, back to Lakeisha and Tasha. So, Tasha kind of does have that, sneaky side of her. And, she obviously got some little part where she's cheating and stuff like that, because she did cheat with Sean. I want to hear that. Ladies, if you drunk, don't y'all hit these comments trying to say Ghost cheated first, because that's a lie. That hoochie cheated first. Over there showing Sean them titties and that coochie. Nah, we ain't about to deal with that. So, it seems like Lakeisha was the most loyal. She's the softest one that's pretty much not going to challenge Ghost so that they could have a good, peaceful transaction. So, in my opinion, my choice for mother is Lakeisha. So, now we have Ghost and Lakeisha. Now for the brother. You got D-Mac, Kane, Tariq, and Drew. Now for me, I'm just not a fan of D-Mac. I'm just going to keep it 100. And I don't even understand why he's even on this list as far as people to choose for brothers, because he doesn't have a sibling. So I really don't understand why they have him on here. Like, they could have even had Braden here, because Braden does have a brother, Trace. But anyways, to me, judging off that, D-Mac should be eliminated, and you're left with Kane, Tariq, and Drew. Now, as we know, Kane, he's a good big brother. Kind of got his side of him where he may be choosing himself a lot, but at the end of the day, he's going to always choose family first, because, he took that motto from his dad, family first, always. So he's going to always make sure that you're good. And you're going to have the luxury of knowing that if you can go to school and ain't nobody going to fuck with you, or they're going to have to deal with you with big bruh. And we know ain't nobody, according to Book 2 Ghost, ain't nobody want that smoke with Kane. That nigga beating everybody's ass. If they want to take it to a gunfight, he can take it to a gunfight. So, you got to protect him big brother that's also, that's gonna be down for the family no matter what. Then you got Tariq. Don't take that nigga out to school, because he gonna get embarrassed. You got a better chance of beating up that bully than that nigga. He gonna get his ass whooped. But you will get a smart brother that will find a strategic way to deal with the situation, to escalate it, without getting his hands dirty, literally, because he gonna get his ass whooped. And Drew is a kind of, in the middle. Like, Drew got hands and he's smart. So to be honest with y'all, to keep it 100, I know a lot of us would probably want to eliminate Drew because of his sexual preference, but if we can look past that, he might be the right choice because he was loyal. You know what I'm saying? He kind of always did family first too, except when it came down to, taking out Monet, he wasn't. But other than that, for the most part, he was pretty loyal to the soil as far as the family as well. So who would I choose between these four brothers? I'm gonna go with Kane, probably because I'm biased. I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with Kane. I can be the smart one. Just, go ahead and be the muscle man and stuff like that. And make sure ain't nobody, I don't know, this is just biasness. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna go with Kane just because I'm biased here. But let's go ahead and go to these sisters. We have Diana, Effie, Raina, and Lauren. Now first, I would have to be reminded that these are my sisters, because when it comes to three of these. Now Raina, I'm not looking at her like that because I still look at her as a little girl. Even though she's grown up now, I last seen her as a little girl, and I'm still gonna be looking at her like that. So, and she a snitch. So Raina is absolute no. Now let's leave the other three. Diana can't keep her goddamn mouth closed. Does she have some kind of asset? Yeah. And then now I think she's getting crazy, starting to become more of her mama and stuff like that too. I don't know. I mean, I got a sister that's down, something going on with another hoochie. Maybe I can get her to handle that. But hey, I can get that from Effie. Plus, if I need her to hack, hey man, I can go up to her and be like, hey, say sis, man, bruh, my credit took a hit. Man, them folks knocked me down 200 points. You think you can shoot it back up to an 850? Boom, she can do that. You know what I'm saying? And the luxury of having a sister that can hit your credit score to an 850 like that, you get a house like that. You know what I'm saying? Car like that. And she can manipulate niggas to do other stuff, man. She know how to make robots. Man, stop playing with her, bro. And then Lauren, she book smart, and stuff like that, but that don't really help me too much. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to y'all. My answer is Effie. So there you have it. That is my power family. The ugly ass family of power. Ghost, Lakeisha, Kane, and Effie. So y'all definitely let me know up in these comment section what would y'all choose, but yeah, that would be mine. So I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all got to say. And then, like I said, we also will host a live and we'll bring this back up and, have that as part of the discussion. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all as far as this particular video. So, like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.